some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to FANGIN and BANGIN with Gangrel and Kid Cadet. Yes, we've made it to episode 15. No, we've not been canceled yet.
We're still here, baby.
Viewers are going up. Thank you for that. Thank you for the big jump and the viewers and the actual minutes and stuff this past week. Thank you to all of you, and good morning, Kid Cadet. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fabulous as always. Very excited to be here.
Fantastic.
I need to make that part of my vocabulary. Yeah. So now,
well, I'm not plugging Dunkin' Donuts, but they say America runs on Dunkin'. This vampire is running on Dunkin' the last week. I am assed out and wiped out. I am been running and gunning, but it's been good. It's been an exciting week and lots of stuff. It's been all over the place. I was up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It was beautiful up there. I did some shows, and then I don't even know. It's just so much going on between running the CCW school and everything's amazing. So how are you? Let's talk about you.
Good. I'm good. Can't complain. I
heard some bad news about the Peter Criss thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's unfortunate. Some people, and I think it's completely valid if people feel uncomfortable about not traveling now, and so Peter Criss from Kiss, the original drummer, canceled his upcoming appearance at Fanboy Expo, so that kind of led to the entire
I'll just know that you're like the hugest Kiss fan ever.
I am,
and you're a Peter Criss fan, so
but
Ace. No, it's Peter Criss.
I like them all.
Oh, you like them all.
I don't discriminate. I even like Tommy Thayer. Is that his name? Yeah, the new Ace. Listen, when it's supposed to happen, it will happen. Okay. So it'll happen.
Also, before I forget,
what?
I would like to say thank you to all of you. I did a TikTok video just on a little bit of epilepsy awareness, and there's 40 different types of seizures, and 1 out of 26 will develop epilepsy, 1 out of 10 will have a seizure. Thank you for all the views and stuff on like that, and sharing for Anna Diaz, my daughter, has epilepsy, and she deals with seizures every day. And she's an advocate. She's out there trying to spread the word. So thank you, all of you, for helping shuttle that out there and spreading the word on epilepsy awareness and all the epilepsy warriors out there, you know. So thank you for all that. That's been an amazing week, too, there. And that's motivated her to go really get out there. She's really shy. You know, you've seen her when she's in the studio. She doesn't talk much. You had to drag her like, oh, he's nice to people out or whatever it was. You know, you had to physically drag words out of her. But she's getting on there and opening up on social media about things. And I can remember when she wouldn't even acknowledge the color purple because it was like the color epilepsy, you know, like, and but yeah, so things are going great there. So thank you to all you fans and everybody in the podcast and whoever shared it and put it out, like, and helped pass it on its way. Thank you, Heather, because I know you did.
Are you talking about the one where she was talking about ways to?
Well, the one I put up, like it did over, like it's done over 300,000 views. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I just put it up. I told her, I said, Anna, and I talked to the students too. I said, you have to start. This is a new world and generation of branding yourself in a positive way, and if you want to get something out there, you got to get on there and talk. I said, so I literally said, watch, I'll put a little video up on TikTok, and I thought like, to get like 3,000 views or something. Well, I just put it on there. I just talked about, you know, 1 out of 26 will develop epilepsy. Okay, yeah. 1 out of 10 will have seizures, and there's 40 different type of seizures and stuff. That's it. Very short and brief. I know I did the fangs and took them out, said I'm also a father. Whatever. It was short. It did over. I thought it would do like 3,000. It did 300,000. Like 300,000 in a week.
I mean, because she put up another video, and I guess I saw it yesterday, where she was talking about like ways you should not interact with someone having a seizure,
right. To restrain them because they'll.
And don't put anything in their mouth. Don't move. You know, I thought that was very interesting stuff. I didn't personally know, and and I think it's very important because, like you mentioned, you know, 1 in 10 will have a good potential.
1 out of 10 will have seizures. 1 out of 26 will develop epilepsy.
So it's just important things to know because you could change somebody's life.
And there's 40 different types of seizures. Yeah, there's 40. And they have no idea why. They can't stop it. You know, medicines can control some. She's had 5 brain surgeries. The medicines do not work. They do like slow them down some, but they were one of the surgeries, the 2 back, were gonna go in and try to cut the area out that they believed it would grow and cause the epilepsy, but it would affect her motor skills on her left side. So she'd be like almost like if she had a stroke or something. She'd be like could either lose all use or have only partial use of her left limb. So like, you know, so the only last option she has is they said, well, you can hope for medicine to get developed or a cure, which probably is not going to happen, and or you could try a pacemaker. So that's when they went back in and she actually has a pacemaker in her head, and she was in the ring and she did a match like 1 month after having a pacemaker surgery, after 2 months in a row of different brain surgeries, and she's making a comeback, and that's what I've encouraged her to get out there and share her journey. So that's what she's starting to do. So she's starting to put slow things out, talking about that. Then we're going to put videos together. Maybe I'll get Raymond to help us. Videos together of like her in the gym and running drills on her coming back. So she did a match at Magic City. She did a match. She worked.
Awesome.
She worked a girl, T Gaines or something.
Oh,
but,
yeah. T Gaines, yeah.
It's okay match. She did well. The match was as a teacher, I critique everything. It's hard to go. It was an excellent match on both ends, but I was happy. I was super proud of her, and so she's on a journey of, I want her, and I'm encouraging her to share that journey. So if you're out there, just give Anna Diaz a follow and help her spread the awareness for epilepsy awareness. Help spread it.
I'm glad, because there really isn't any, at least that I haven't seen. Like I said, I hadn't seen anything like that before. So good for her for
and,
putting it out there.
The 3 things of advice that she gave, I did all them wrong anyways when I first met her. I had no idea about seizures. So what did I do? I held her down. And all these things. No, so don't do that, because they don't know, especially if it's a girl. They don't know if you're attacking them because they go under it, or they don't know if you're trying to rape them. I mean, the worst things can run through their mind. So you don't want to put yourself in a situation, but it is a scary situation. And if 1 out of 26 people and 1 out of 10 can have a seizure, we really all should educate ourselves a little bit better. It's
so important.
Yeah. But enough of my personal agenda there. So, what's up? What are we doing? We're gonna cover us.
I think we need to kind of talk about
Bigfoot not being in the news anymore.
We're so sad about that.
Does he have COVID or something?
That's what Raymond was saying.
Yeah, I don't know. There's his eyeballs. That's Scotchula. He has no updates on Bigfoot. There's been no Bigfoot news or rumors. So if you have any, please share it on.
Send us
please.
Any sightings.
He was hot for a week, kind of like me, and it disappeared.
You're still hot, Gangy. Listen, and I think that is something that we really do need to talk about, because the video has, I think Raymond said as of today, over 100,000 views, and it's because, at least from what I read, people were really excited about the prospect that this could have been a thing. And
I was excited too.
I think everyone was excited. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the comments that you saw, or some of the feedback you got?
I didn't see any negative feedback, unless they said, it would have been better if Gangrel would have came out. Or I saw a lot of remarks though, like with the Edge coming through the Ring of Fire. The remarks were, it would have been great if Gangrel at least walked him out and sprayed the blood, or at least rose up in the elevator, even if I didn't come down the ring, if you're paying homage and stuff like that. So all the fans were super flattering. Thank you for all the love and support. And obviously, it was, like I said last podcast, it was so amazing to see how it was done in 2021 compared to 1998, how things changed. But the fans, thank you to all of you. It was very flattering, very humbling. It's it's just tremendous, and then I was already going places. I tell you, every TSA guy knew, but after that thing, everywhere I walked again, it was just Gangrel, the ticket counter, Gangrel, going out to the rental car, hey Gangrel, what's going on? I get in my elevator, and I didn't know how many wrestling fans actually lived in my building and never said nothing. There was a guy, he gets in and he goes, hey Gangrel, and he goes, I was in Vegas at SummerSlam and I thought my neighbor was coming out. I told him my neighbor's coming out. He goes, I was so disappointed, but he goes, but you still rock, So even my neighbors thing that I never even knew were wrestling fans were like, we thought you were coming out in SummerSlam, So that was kind of crazy roller coaster thing, I'm just blessed. I'm super blessed. To be able to wrestle every weekend. That would have been great to have done either the AEW thing or accompany that job. It would have been tremendous. I'm a big believer in other opportunities. When one door closes, something else opens. Push it forward. I get to sit here every week with you and do a lovely podcast. Talk to Raymond. He knows me so well that he actually brought coffee today. So
Raymond's the best. We do need to take a moment. A Raymond appreciation moment for how much he does for us on this podcast. So thank you, Raymond.
Moment of silence. We take
we
we gotta go. Moment of silence. But Raymond, like, I don't know. I'm like super, super busy. He never asked nothing. And then the next thing I know, he goes, hey, have you watched any of the Bobby Lashley stuff?
Oh, yeah. He texted us that yesterday.
He texted me. I'm like, man, I'm driving and I'm on the way to teach class. I have watched nothing. I might know some things about Bobby Lashley. I don't know, but I haven't watched the current product. But I did see Raw. I mean, I know I watched Raw. So I think they're using Bobby Lashley great. I think he's a beast. He's amazing. I like the fact that they open Raw up. He comes out, but then everybody, you know, like, so there's the Universal titles, and he's my dude, Archer, Damian Priest. So pumped.
That's your
so
guy.
That is my dude, man. That is my guy. That dude's a superstar. I mean, when I was watching his promo, when he was talking, I was like, I think he could be a little darker. He seemed like super like somebody's cool brother or something instead of like this. I want him to be more. I want him to be like me, like I'm booking the shit. Like I'm not booking, but Damian. I picture, and you're gonna dig this because you're gonna get it.
Here we go.
So Damian Priest is Lestat and Queen of the Damned.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what I see.
Okay.
Fucking rock star.
Yeah.
Like just a rock star. Like
with way less mesh t-shirt.
yes. And you know, a little vampiric. You know, but a whole lot vampiric. But oh man, he's just got that. But when he did the promo, I was like, something was missing in the promo. But he's still my dude, no matter what. But then you had Sheamus come out with the bro kick, and then you had the guy, Drew McIntyre, Galloway, or McIntyre there. Drew McIntyre there. Come out, so that's great. But then you have Bobby Lashley come out, like, who's in the mix of everything. So they're really keeping them current. Then, you know, then you have Riddle come out with Randy Orton. They got that new crew, and you know I'm a Riddle guy too. I like Riddle, so I'm like, ooh, opening episode. I got all my dudes out there. I'm like, okay, go. Only thing missing is Edge coming out, but it was Raw, so he has to switch over to Raw yet, or if he is, I don't know what's going on. But I was like, I was happy because to see Raw open up like that, and then they set up two solid matches out of there. You know, the 3-way for the Open Challenge or whatever, the Universe, whatever it's called, and then Bobby trying to go and MVP for the tag titles and stuff for Randy Orton. And then you had AJ sitting out there ringside with that big old dude that just sweats a lot. Or, I don't know if he's sweating a lot. Like,
oh, I just met him actually.
He's super nice.
Weekends ago. Yeah.
I actually trained with him when I was guest coach at the PC. That like I worked out with him. He really wanted to learn and everything, but he's just so damn big, you know.
I met him at MegaCon, and it's funny because like I just saw him. He was just there, and he's the type of guy like obviously he stands out in a crowd, and like I had to do a double take, and then I was like, I mean, he is tall. This is a tall man.
He's big. So it came out there. So then you had to watch poor MVP wrestle, like, and you know, there's a lot of history with MVP, South Florida here. Like I could tell you, there's a fella named Daryl Primetime. Do you ever know Daryl? Daryl's wrestled for years. Well, Daryl used to be. I'll get back to that, but let me go. Like, so MVP, they wrestle, right? So he's got that bad knee, right? So now you got actually it looks like there's some thought maybe in these storylines. Maybe not a lot of thought, but there's thought. So you have Goldberg. They hurt Goldberg's knee, right? So like Lashley and Goldberg. So he takes Goldberg's knee out, right? So now then Goldberg's son, Gage, right? He comes in and they put, what is it called? The Hurt Lock? What is it called?
Yeah.
So he put that in, put MVP, like everybody can be Lashley, but MVP, his facials, I think he's the best manager right now in professional wrestling. I think by hands down, to me, like that dude is on point. He's smart. He's intelligent. He understands the game. Yeah. He's come from the streets. He's been to prison. He's done the grind. He's rose up to the top. He put a rap album out. He's like, he's got his own variety or whatever comic show that he does too, like kind of like Cactus does or Mick, like kind of where they go around. A lot of wrestlers are doing that comedy, kind of tell you a story thing. I mean, he's got so much going on. So he's super intelligent, super got his thumb, his pulse on the pulse and everything. Comes out there, but his facials are like, he's putting everything over. Like when they put the Hurt Lock on, he like realized he knows it's Goldberg's son, but like, you know, Lashley's on kill mode, like I'm Bobby Lashley, which I think is amazing because like he's just, I think he's amazing. I think he's on top of his game ever for he's older too, you know. Like
he looks great.
I think he's in his late 40s.
He's 45.
Yeah, but he's on point, man. He looks great, and he just is a beast in the ring, and everything he does. Like when that tag match, he came out and so they did that package deal up to that, and then whatever, Gage is hurt. They did a clip during the show with Goldberg, but they hardly showed a knee. Like maybe there was a knee brace on. I don't know. I couldn't tell, but they edited it. But they plugged the Goldberg's garage, which is cool. I like cars and trucks and shit like that, so that's all cool. Goldberg. So they're making things personal. Goldberg knee got hurt. His son now felt bad as that. He's come in and now he's got shoulder and neck problems from the Hurt Lock. But then you got MVP selling this like, oh God, you don't know that that's his son. What have you done? What have you done? But like Bobby Lashley's like this cyborg destroyer. Yeah, he's just a monster. I'm on kill mode. The world is mine. But I'm taking every title there is and killing everybody in between. So they're just building them. I love how they're doing it. And then they have that tag match, and then you got MVP, who's clearly working on a hurt knee. Like he's done the angle and this and this and that. So I don't know that he's fixed it or not, but to be in the ring, but he's walking like I walk. He's got my gimmick. He's got that kicked out knee, and he's like, I don't wear braces on it, but he's braced up, which tells me he's probably got like MCL and PCL. He's probably got a lot. Mine's just bone on bone, and it's deteriorating, right? So I either get the new knee, like that told me, or I just ride it out a little longer. But I think he has something that needs to be repaired, like
So he needs some time off, but
time off. But he could come back. It's not a knee replacement, but he's got obvious issues. So now they put him in the match, and I don't know where they're gonna go from there. Like he's got a bad knee. I'm just I can speculate all I want. I mean, but use your imagination. So I think you're gonna keep making this personal. I think Goldberg's gonna probably hurt somebody to get even, trying to get an Lashley manager. So I don't know. It's really, really cool to see the buzz around Bobby Lashley. I don't know a lot. I mean, he came when he debuted. What was it on Raw or something? Like he lost or something, right? It was like horrible. Then he just rose up. Now they're really doing something.
Oh yeah, he's like top of the company, him and Roman Reigns, right? I mean,
right. So but if I got to go Roman or Lashley, I'm gonna be a Lashley guy over Roman. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But because I just like watch when he gave those tackles in that tag match. He came in when MVP was in there. They got a little heat, whatever. MVP tagged Lashley and MVP rolled out. It's like he put him right. Somebody took the post. I think maybe it was Orton. I don't know who was in there, but he came in, shoulder tackle. Then he crawled back and come and charging with another one. The forearms, the aggression. He was just like a friggin' giant pit bull that you couldn't stop. Like just like end of days or something. There's the end of times. This big demon beast walking Earth and collecting souls. This is what he looks like.
Well, like the thing that's always like so interesting to me is like these guys that like don't have to say a word, but yet once they're in the ring, like they're speaking volumes. It's like it's menacing and scary. Like you said, he's a monster. He's a machine. I
think he's the best. This is the best he's looked in since he's been wrestling. For me, as a fan, not a wrestler, but as a fan, watching as a fan.
Well, I know, like, the other thing that Raymond kind of wanted to touch on was...
Yeah, go over here, buddy.
Oh, bye, Squatch.
Hey, Squatch, you're sweating me up. I'm starting to sweat. Got a long day ahead of me.
It is the whole, Goldberg intermittently, he pops up every now and again. I mean, do you think his appearances are as impactful as a one-off from, let's say, someone like Brock Lesnar or The Rock?
Well, Brock Lesnar's comeback is, like this babyface, but he probably will be around longer than Goldberg. Goldberg, I mean, he's had injuries. He's older. I mean, I think they're just one-offs, and it makes sense to just keep the ratings up here and there when they need it to help boost things. So, is it impactful? Yeah, I think people like Goldberg. There was a whole WCW generation that was like worship Goldberg. Like, let me ask you this: how many Goldberg tattoos do you see on older, like 40-year-old dudes and 30-year-old dudes?
I've personally never seen one. Do people have Goldberg tattoos? Really?
that tribal he has. That tribal.
Oh,
Goldberg had that exact tribal. I can't go a day without running into somebody my age or a little bit younger, well, in their 40s or 50s, or 40s and 30s, late 30s and 40s. With the Goldberg tag. That Goldberg tribal, that same exact tribal. Okay. And I've seen girls with it on their back as a tramp stamp.
Listen, I'm about the tribal. I thought you meant like a portrait of him. Like
no,
his face.
Nobody wants Goldberg on him. That's the kind of portrait Johnny Knoxville on here. Jazz Steve-O.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So, No. That particular tribal tattoo. Yeah, it's signature Goldberg.
Oh yeah, I can name like a couple right now.
Right. I mean, and a lot of the guys like I wrestle every weekend, and I'll see a guy and I'll see the Goldberg tattoo on him. I go, all right, I know what I'm in for tonight.
Maybe I'll get one.
Yeah, I'm not getting one.
No, you don't want to.
No. Or nothing. I'm not having anything against them. I mean, I was never a giant Goldberg fan. I got along great with him, but as a wrestler, he was just It was very limited. It was like he had that streak, but and nothing against him. It's just that I don't think he was. He's a great guy, but I just don't think he was he wasn't a Brett or Owen or a wrestler for say like that. He was just Goldberg. They built him for what he was, and it was great. You know, he came in jackhammer, spear, or whatever it was, or spear, jackhammer. So they built him as a monster beast. Lashley's built as a monster beast, so I guess it's appropriate they clash and they have something going on. I mean, I hate to see them. I don't like the word hate, but I don't like to see that the older guys always get beat, but I also don't like to see him come in and beat the other guys that are trying to build up and make stars. So that's a tough spot there, you know. It's a really tough thing. But I think they're doing it personal. They got a little storyline at least, you know. They made it personal with Gage and coming in, the dad and the knee and stuff. So I'm interested to see where it goes. So,
I always
interested to see where it goes.
I always think it's interesting seeing them involve like actual family members. I always think back to like the Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, you know, and Dominic was like part of it. I mean, I think it's cool, you know, as long as the kids are like willing to, you know, go with the storyline, and it seems like Goldberg's son is. I
guess it's cool if you're a wrestling family and they plan on going into wrestling. I don't know if I'd want my family involved in something if it wasn't going to go no further than that. You know what I mean? If they weren't going to be potential wrestlers or something in the industry or do something.
Well, Anna's, you know, she's like, I call her my daughter, but she's my stepdaughter, so I didn't have any say on what happened there. She was already in it, came, I met her like her first day. She came, and then I think her mom brung her and then surprised her with the wrestling school, but then surprised her with like a WrestleMania or something, like when it was in Orlando or something. She was like 14 to train. So that's when I met her. Then I went away and I met Twilight that same day, Jay Vidal. Yep,
and
Twilight.
So then I came back and I was there for most of their training, helping out, and then I would go to England and come back. But then I opened my own school and they came. So yeah, I met her mom by training her. So but then now they're my family for life. So
exactly, 100%. Yeah. Do you feel like someone like The Rock could have like another one-off appearance?
I think he could have a whole career wrestling if he wanted to. I mean, like, right, stomp, kick, rock bottom, dropped an elbow. He could work forever like that, you know. Mm-hmm. He just came in. His energy. I mean, this guy gets up at 3:30 in the morning and works out. I think he has a harder schedule than he ever had as a wrestler. Like, to be a top entertainer, right, in the world, like making movies and stuff. John Cena too. I mean, what do these guys find time? Like when we were wrestling, we hardly found time to stay in phenomenal shape. So when you're on set all day and you're flying, you're here, you're in another country, there, you're making movies, and then you're gonna start doing wrestling appearances again in between all that. You are a beast in your own, you know. Like, so
I feel like they have to give him time in his schedule, right? They're
so I definitely believe like The Rock could come back. He could work a solid year straight. Nothing about it. He's just the energy he has and the style he has and stuff like that.
If The Rock did come back, let's say we'll say WrestleMania next year, who would you like to see him?
Roman Reigns.
Okay, that answers that. I feel like you've thought about that.
Head of the table challenge is another head of the table.
I feel like it's something like we've all like wanted and we're all like waiting for. We're like, any day now.
I mean, even I don't want to see him work Bobby Lashley. I want to see Bobby Lashley just be his own entity and just destroy it for a while, you know. And I don't want to see him get dethroned or anything by The Rock, but I would really be interested in seeing if The Rock could dethrone Roman Reigns
I like
being
it.
You know, Samoan culture and, you know, the head of the table thing makes sense to me.
I think it would be huge.
Makes sense to me.
Like I feel like that could headline WrestleMania 100%.
I think it'd headline the world and then some. That'd be really good in my eyes. But
yeah, and I was gonna say there's eyes watching this stream, so if that happens, we're gonna say, hey, look, you heard it here from Gangrel first.
Speaking of Gangrel, I got my collared FANGIN and BANGIN shirt on, all office and business though. FNBgangrel.com. You can check that out and go on there. Thank you for all the love that's been coming across there too. All the they seem to be more brood stuff, but thank you, Edge.
Oh yeah, people seem to like the brood stuff. Yeah. Kind of like, not to circle too far back, but what you were saying before you started talking about Bobby Lashley in the comments about the last video is there is still so much love for the Brood, and I loved reading all of the comments about saying like how impactful the Brood has just been on, you know, the history of the WWE, and I think that is so awesome, and like that has to feel good reading all those comments. People love you.
It's very flattering. Like I've said before on here, I've never, anybody that ever walks up to me and says, "Oh, I'm sorry to bother you," I go, "Oh, don't be sorry." I tell them thank you, because it's very flattering. When they quit talking to you or acknowledging you or recognizing you, you know, I say I never think of myself as a star, but you do get used to that. If that goes away, you'll start thinking, "Oh, they forgot me," you know. So to something amazing like that to happen and get such a positive feedback, it's just tremendous. It's awesome. So it's silly to say, no, I'm not awesome, but but we were talking about Bobby Lashley and I went on the MVP thing. So
we're gonna talk about
MVP, which I think like he's older. He's in there, but he's I think he's such a great manager. But like his history along, like on his journey and stuff that he's come through, like in South Florida, like it's weird how worlds is so small, like that 6 degrees or whatever. But you know, he's got a past in history, and there's the Prime. He's a local wrestler. The Prime, I can't say enough about Daryl. He's such a gentleman. He shows up at every company that has anything. He supports all the young talent. He comes in there and buys all their merch. I see his name pop up on the FMB Gangrel.
Oh yeah, all the time.
So he's buying everybody's stuff. Gets on there, wears their shirt. So supportive. But that's just a guy. He's always been like that. Now, unfortunately, MVP, he, you know, did some bad things in life or whatever the world considered bad. I guess we all consider robbing a casino boat or whatever. Like, he's done something, you know, so he was in prison. My brother, Criss, same thing, not a casino boat. Maybe it was a subway or something, but slinging some stuff. He's done some bad things, some bad life choices too. And the world is so small in a funny, weird way. Him and MVP, Hassan, they were cellmates. So,
really?
And guess who the prison guard was?
Who?
Prime. Prime. So,
really?
Yeah. So I think this might have been a work release in Opalaca. So it might have been after their mainstay in the big house, but like when they work release, so they go out and work in the day and come back at night, and they're still locked in. So him and my brother,
Sounds
and
like
then
a movie.
Yeah. So my brother, and then I think Prime would go to my brother, like, "Your last name's Heath. Are you related to David Heath?" And my brother goes, "Yeah, he wrestles and stuff." So they would all like talk wrestling, and Prime is such a good dude. He told us on MVP, he goes, "Hey man, when you get out of here, if you straighten your life up, I'll help you get trained." True enough, and story he did, boom, and look where he is now.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's so
and for the record, my brother's doing really good too now.
Oh,
he
good.
owns his own semi truck. He's driving. He hasn't been in any more trouble. So
good to hear.
So they're both like one guy made a difference in both their lives.
You can turn your life around, you know?
Yeah, so Prime's, that's why I want to give him a shout out. Prime, Daryl Prime Time, man. That is a legit what a man should be in life, you know, a human being. Too.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about MVP, like that Prime like helped him.
Oh yeah, he was in there, and
no idea.
They were talking wrestling. And he said, "Listen, when you get out of here, be straight, keep things straight. I'll help you out." And he guided him along his journey, and boom, look where he is now. He was left, gone, back again, and working on top with Bobby Lashley, and last night on Raw, or Monday night on Raw, on that tag.
Yeah, what day is it? I don't know.
Yeah. So it's I don't know what it is now. It's like Thursday now or something. I don't know. Wait, no, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Well, the last time I saw MVP was at one of your events at the casino, and then the next week he was on like WWE. I mean, that's
I don't think he told anybody, but I had a sneaky suspicion when he was like eating really good and going, "I got to do 2-a-days." He was doing 2-a-day workouts and stuff like that. Anytime a wrestler starts doing 2-a-day workouts and eating really good, they usually got something coming up.
Gotcha.
It's either like a WrestleMania or they're re-debuting somewhere or something. Something's always coming up, so the flags were up. But even though on that time with all that going on when we did that thing, he was still gracious enough to show up on the Sunday and hand the toys out to the kid. It was a toy drive. So it was the toy drive. And he's also giving back to the community, and I know that he will go speak to youth and stuff and try to tell them there's hope after making mistakes and stuff like that. So he's a really good dude too. No, I don't know if he's as good as Prime. Prime's like, you can't top Prime in my book. That dude's class.
Aww,
he's class. Yeah,
that is so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, another thing, Raymond wanted to mention, and
Raymond, how much did you mention? How many texts did you send out?
A lot.
I must have ignored him.
He's on top of things, you know. He makes it easier for us. And people have been talking about it since Monday. Like, it's kind of like a big thing. I know they were talking about it on the Busted Open radio show. Especially Bully Ray had a lot of things to say about it. Was the match with Charlotte and Nia Jax.
Oh, so he didn't bring that up to me, but I did see that match.
I guess just as a quick refresher, people didn't know what was real, what was not real.
I don't know what was going on. They said when I do cardio, sometimes my things pop up and they go, Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair shoot fight or shoot in the ring on each other, whatever. But when I watched the show, I don't know that they were shooting on each other. I don't know. I think maybe they were trying to. I don't know because I wasn't there. There looked like there was a couple like miscued moves. Maybe they wanted to make it look and get some people to talk about it. Maybe they I don't know because I didn't see any punching or eye gouging or any.
They just weren't selling each other stuff.
They just stopped for like a minute. It might have been a slap that led into something, and then there was a miss something, and there looked like a Samoan drop or a driver on the head or something weird. It came up, but then there was the finish. So it's hard to say unless you're in there. I don't know. I wasn't an agent, so I don't know what was called for that match, or producers they call it now. So I can't really comment on it. It just, I don't know, maybe, I mean, from what I understood, I thought they were like friends and stuff like that. So I don't know. So,
I'm not sure.
But then again, I've been in some of my best scraps of people I consider friends. But never in the ring though. Like, I mean, it could have been the way they stopped, like, they didn't do a whole lot, but to be honest, besides just maybe a sloppy execution of a Samoan drop or something, I actually liked that match. Like,
what we got?
Yeah, it was real punches thrown.
Real punches? What do you say? Real punches? Real punches was thrown. Who threw the real punch?
I mean,
that was a real punch. And she's Samoan. I don't think that.
But look, like they're both going for each other's moves and no selling them. Like to me, that was the bigger thing. Is that like
there's no trust. There's like you know. They say the worst matches out there would be the matches where there's the actual heat or somebody's not trusting each other because you won't do anything. You can't make each other look good because you don't trust to do anything because you're mad or whatever. Or you don't trust them to not hurt you. I don't know. Maybe they just did it to talk about. I don't know. I was taught a long time ago, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. You know, so that was it. That was 34 years ago when I started wrestling. In September, this is 30. Hey, it's in September. This is 34 years for me. 34 years.
We need more confetti.
Training. Yeah, 34. So I was told day one, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see, kid. That was Boris Malenko. And he would go on again. Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. They're talking apples and I'm talking oranges, so shut the hell up and just listen to me and you'll be all right, you know?
Add that to the impression compilation
but you
video.
got to have Fixodent because he had the tea always clicking on there. Oh, no. He was always yelling, Boris Malenko. Love Boris Malenko. Miss him. Him and Rusty are both gone now, you know? I try to get people, like, at the CCW school, I try to they think because they were trained one by one person. I try to say there's so many different styles. I was trained by Rusty, but yet Boris Malenko too. And then I was trained in the Dungeon by the Hearts. And then I was trained by Alpha. Like I attended 3 schools. I trained 4 technically. Yeah. So this and then I intertwine all these styles to make one. Yeah. So I don't know. Eric Bischoff said to me once. He goes, "Oh, I didn't realize it. You basically attended Harvard, Princeton, and Yale, you know, of wrestling schools." I go, "Oh, that sounds really cool. It sounds better than how I was saying it." But
yeah, I like that. Very
yeah.
Well, I know that this weekend, and you did mention you were in Harrisburg, but you did get to be reunited with Rikishi.
Oh yes, I saw. Yeah, Rikishi and Samu,
and
the head shrinkers.
Cool.
Yeah, the head shrinkers or Samoan SWAT team. I was terrified of them. When I was a kid, I would drive up to Georgia Championship Wrestling, right? And they would have a board up much too. They'd put the matches up. I would do like a show. I'd pick people up, drive up there. I think I talked about it. I'd take a bath in the sink real quick.
Oh, fine.
And because they didn't have a shower there. It was just a little studio like by the college dorms, Techwood Drive or whatever. And so you get in there and you just sitting there with, you know, mouth shut, eyes open, ears open. You know, eyes are big, looking at everything. You got people like the Road Warriors walking around and the Samoan SWAT team, Abdullah the Butcher, Rick Steiner and stuff. But I would always, and little did I know that I would have such a relationship with the Samoans later, but like I would actually hope to get the Road Warriors over the Samoans because I would see Samu, like, I'm pretty sure that they would. You're supposed to defrost the pineapple. Sometimes they would freeze these pineapples and carry them. But I promise you, I've gone over like after and like picked up some of that pineapple and it had been frozen.
Hard.
So they would take the Samoan SWAT team, like their thrust kicks. They look so vicious as Samoans that. But then there was this pineapple, and I figured, okay, I can get my head kicked off this and this and that. But it was the pineapple when they would hit somebody in the head with that pineapple. I think whether it would be different if they liked you. That pineapple was like thawed out and maybe even got some cuts in it, so it'll bust easier. If they didn't like you, they just bust you in the head with a frozen pineapple.
Ow!
So, but they could work, right? So, and I consider Samu, the great Samu, when he was in Calgary and stuff like that, to be one of the best. Like, Samu was so, like, underrated and so talented. So, like, that whole the Samoan dynasty, like this. I didn't train Lance, but Lance is so talented too, Samu's son. So he's a lot like his father, but he's doing a lot like his dad did at first too when he went off on his own. He's trying to figure it out. He's caught up in trying to be his culture with his culture, but current and what he would like to do, but his culture is going to get him booked more because people want to see like a Samoan, a savage type of like thing. But you know, he does that. So like I feel so sorry for Lance when I watch him, but I'm like, I know that like one day he's just going to break out. And then I train like TK's son, Jacob Fatu, who's in MLW and stuff, who's just probably one of the most talented people I ever trained, you know, like wise in the ring. And so much talent to come through there. But Samu was just so talented, like these guys, and then nothing to get, and Kishi, like I mean Fatu, they did amazing things, and they're bump and feed guys, you know, you bump and feed them. They got thrust kicks and thrusts and all that, so yeah, like, but I knew that they were like, you can watch wrestling and go, okay, the kicks and all that, it's vicious. They're vicious, but that's fine. But that pineapple, that was a whole other story. I'm not getting beaten the hell with that pineapple.
I
would have if I had to, but I actually would be like, oh God, it's a tag match, and then I go, please be the Road Warriors, like, cause, or the Bobby Eaton, but Midnight Express would be great. That's a super night off, you know. But I get the Road Warriors, I'd be like, oh, it's not the pineapple, you know what I mean? Like, but later in life, you know, I've worked all the Samoans so many times. I haven't worked Yokozuna. I almost wore my Yokozuna shirt today.
Oh, that would have been
the Ultimate Ooh shirt. I almost wore it today.
Next week.
I had it on, but I figured I had to plug the FNBGangrel.com, so I threw this one on, and but maybe next week I'll wear that because I got a Samoan Dynasty and Ultimate Ooze, but that's why I would like to see The Rock of Roman Reigns. It's just it's the family culture, and then growing up with them, I think it would be something super special. Maybe it's predictable because I came up with it, so I come up with predictable stuff, but see it. But
I just remembered. Sorry, you reminded me. I was gonna wear my Rolling Stone shirt today.
Oh, you're gonna go Rolling Stones?
Well,
today.
Charlie, you won.
Oh, that's right. He put the drummer, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Man, scary getting up there in age. But he was like, what, 80?
80.
Yeah. He had a good run. Yeah. Not long enough. I mean, he was still making great music. But
still touring. I mean, still on the road. I guess he was taken off the road like for this upcoming leg that they were going on, but...
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to bring down the...
No.
Good. I was just thinking about it.
All right, so what else is new? So we covered...
I got a...
so Rikishi, so I got to see him. Oh, they were great. So that was, I'll go back. I'll finish up with that. Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome to see him. I haven't seen Samu in a while. Rikishi, of course, I got ties with him all the way back to Knox Pro. So if you're in the California area, Knox Pro Entertainment, the training facility out there. I mean, when I was out there a month ago, I stopped by. They got some amazing students, amazing things going on, and they got big things popping out there. So they always got big things popping. They always got something going on. Reno Anawa'i and Count Black Pearl, Cali or whatever. Reno Anawa'i and Rikishi. So I was part of that school. That opened on my birthday, and I was a part of that until I moved back home to Florida, and then been trying to navigate my way around and stuff. But yeah, so it was great to see him. So like yeah, they're definitely family to me, and so yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Well, I wanted to say I got a like on Twitter from one of your friends, Kevin Thorn, liked one of my photos. Shout out Kevin Thorn.
Oh, Kevin Thorn. I gotta give Kevin a call, man. He's called me a couple times, and then like I called him back. I got his machine. He's doing really great. You know, if any of y'all don't know Kevin Thorn, he was also Mordecai in Seven throughout the years in Ohio Valley or Deep South, and then WWE, WWF or WWE. Then he was known with Ariel, Shelly Martinez, and Kevin Thorn in the ECW part where they debuted as vampires. And I was supposed to come in. They actually hired me back and said, "Hey, we're gonna put this faction of vampires. You're gonna come in, and we're gonna bring Ariel in, and we're gonna bring Kevin Thorn in. She's gonna manage you guys." So they hired me. I sat home. I never got a phone call. I was watching TV, and then I seen Kevin debut, and then with Ariel, like, they went the opposite direction. Then my next phone call was like, well, it never really took off with them, so we had to cancel it. Like, whatever. Like, can I go back to England now? But Kevin did a great. I thought he did he does great. Like, he had the nice gear and the fangs and all, and he found out how hard it was to actually work with the fangs. It's not so easy to pull fangs off, wrestle.
What's the most difficult part about like wrestling with the fangs?
Depending upon what fangs you have, they tend to go through your lip. Or they get kicked out depending upon who you're working. And I think he was working like Rob Van Dam a lot, so he's getting kicked in the face, literally kicked in the face a lot. So his fangs would be rearranged. They look like earrings over here when after you get kicked or something. So he would spend tons and tons of money on fangs. I think he got the company to pay for him, but I was blessed because Jody did this in Nashville. He hooked me up. I'm wearing the same pair of fangs since '98, the titanium clasp and stuff like that. So you spend a little bit more money, but it's a lot less headaches, So I'm due to try to get another pair made for my afterlife as a vampire, for my the cons and stuff. I need to get some fresher pair of fangs so I don't terrorize the fan with my dulled out, beat up, road worn fangs from '98. Like, they have seen thousands and thousands of matches since '98.
If those fangs could talk.
If those fangs could talk. Those fangs have done some bad things too. I don't know if I want those fangs to talk. I might get in trouble, like some stuff, or like, I don't know, man. They might open a whole new category of like what the fangs have done. Blame it on the fangs. That was the fangs, not me. Yeah, Kevin's a great guy. So I'll let you. But what I was gonna say is, he still wrestles, but he's killing it in real estate. Who would have thought that this big 6'4" or 5" of a 320-pound man, it could sell homes. He is selling the heck out of houses everywhere, like the Indiana area.
That's awesome.
He's making more money than he ever made in WWE, I think. And he's got a beautiful family, beautiful kids. So yeah, he's doing great, man. I'm so happy for him. And we still tag here and there. Like, I'll see him in Charleston coming up in October, and then I'll also see him in Charleston again because we're tag team champions on December 5th in Charleston for old school championship wrestling. So I still tag with him here and there, and we still do some stuff. Yeah.
Well, tell him to come on the show.
Yeah, well, he would. He always was. He's always willing to come down and stuff like that. Kevin would. I just don't know which Kevin you'll get. You'll get a laughing Kevin, ribbon Kevin. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
You'll get Kevin Thorn for sure, though.
Heck yeah.
Kevin Thorn. But yeah, so that's cool. He gave you a like. What did he give you a like on?
I think the picture that I posted of me is like a vampire.
That's a good picture. Yeah, that's a good picture.
Yeah, Raymond and I are talking about what we're going to do for Halloween. So.
Yeah, Raymond, I don't think you could top her vampire. Look, her vampire is kind of like, it's a nice vampire.
Yeah, but that was a filter. I wanted...
Hey.
Oh, you
want to be Blade? You want to be trying to kill vampires?
Ooh, that's not a bad choice. Ooh, yeah, Blade.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
I'll be Whistler then if you're gonna be Blade. You know Whistler? You don't know? You know Blade? You don't know Whistler? It's Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah,
him.
He was like the keeper of Blade. He's the one that did his blood for him and made all this special stuff to help fight the other vampires and stuff like that. He had the knee brace. I got the knee already, so I got the grizzle limp. Like, what's that?
I guess I'll be Ryan Reynolds then, right? Isn't he in one of the Blades? Blade 3 or something?
You know what? The Blades for me are much like the Lost Boys. Like, after the first one, whatever. And then when they threw Hunter in 3 with Platinum Fan, I'm like,
that was it. You're out.
I'm out.
Well, I think as we get closer to Halloween, though, we need to have a talk about fangs because obviously there's so many different varieties.
There's some retractable ones. You see those ones that you push your tongue and they come out.
Well, I mean, like, because Nosferatu had like the front 2, and then like Lost Boys had them, I guess, or you had them, and then other ones have them closer in. We'll have to talk more once we get closer.
A lot of fangins.
Spooky
months.
A lot of fangs.
October's not that far away.
We're a month away.
Yeah.
It's happening. We have to start decorating for Halloween because now it's September, which is Halloween.
I don't know.
Next week, you're going to have a pumpkin spice latte.
No, somebody just wrote me, like, the guy that does Gangrel's Ghost Stories, Greg. I have no idea. He goes, can you please do me a video? He calls me DH. He goes, can you? I got to answer him. He probably thinks I ignored him, but I was in the middle of class. And then he see me on a live feed later. So it always makes you look bad when you don't answer a message because you're busy. And then you're on a live feed. And I go like, damn it, this guy could do a live feed, but he couldn't take 2 seconds to answer a text. Damn, social media buries you. It tells on you all the time. But he sent me a thing asking me to send him a video. I guess maybe he wants to do it for TikTok. I don't go to Starbucks. I'm Dunkin' Donuts.
He's a Dunkin'.
I couldn't even tell you where Starbucks is. I'm sure there's 30 of them, though. Every block or something. I'm sure there are. But he wants me to get a pumpkin spice latte, drink it and spray it in the air or something. Like
But how would they know?
For a TikTok video, maybe he wants it for Halloween, October time.
But how would they know what you're actually drinking?
I guess I got to talk and say, "Oh, or pumpkin spice latte."
But
what? So I don't know. So I gotta talk to him and see what he's gonna do. Because I wasn't ignoring you, Lucha Greg, if you're listening, dude. I was teaching class, but it's also trying to promote that class. That's why I was doing live videos. And then he also, I know he knows because he wrote when I was doing a live video, he goes, "Hey, you should be doing that on TikTok. Go TikTok live, do the TikTok live." So he's trying to help me, he's trying to help me, but I'm just terrible at marketing and helping my own self, you know what I mean? And then, but the Gangrel's ghost stories, that's still in play. It's a big thing. It's still going. We got to start having more ghost stories on here.
Let's go. Next week. Yeah. Next week, Raymond, can we please? Cool, great. We'll just pretend like
or all of October we could do a ghost story every show or something.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah, all month. But
yeah, shout out to Lucha Labs. Check them out on YouTube. They got great stuff going on, and they're also part of the GGS Gangrel's Ghost Stories. All in play, all looking good. They're working on it. It's full speed ahead. So could be a very exciting 2022 for me, and so many different levels. Like I just got to decide whether to go get the new knee or just take some gel shots and throw that new brace on and just motor on until it's totally destroyed. If I take the new knee, they're suggesting I don't wrestle anymore. So I don't know. It could be a hint that I might not be wrestling after December.
We'll see.
Or I'll just motor on. But
you can't say that, because if your doctor's watching this, you can't say that.
He's not watching. He's too smart to watch
you
this.
Never know what your doctor could be watching.
No disrespect to anybody else is watching it, but he's like, he's working. He's like,
he might just for this episode.
You know what? To be fair, you never know, because the lady that came and had to measure me for my brace yesterday after the MRI. She goes, "Oh, I saw your truck out there, and it's cool. Like I had a couple friends in California that were trying to wrestle this and this," and she owned the gym. So you never really know who actually is a wrestling fan. But I didn't get the vibe he was a wrestling fan, because he used the words like, "So you're like you put oil on in your underwear and stuff, like like that wrestling." I said, "Yeah, that wrestling." Except for I wear a lot of clothes and I have fangs. Quite the opposite, but the same wrestling. Yes.
Wrestling nonetheless. Well, are we ready for a
If I had abs, I'd probably wear the underwear and baby oil, but I don't have any abs anymore, so I'm not an ab pyre. I'm just kind of a fat pyre.
Oh, you're a glam pyre.
All right, so what's up? Where are we going?
Pandora.
Already? All right.
What do you think?
Okay.
We're getting the thumbs up. So.
What's in the box? I love saying that. What's in the box?
Should we ask? Have you seen it yet? Raymond?
Have you seen Seven? You're not Raymond. Don't send me no more messages to talk about
Bobby
somebody.
Lashley.
And I didn't even have time, but I did watch Raw. Fortunately, I had something to go with. I did watch Raw. Most of Raw, but I still don't know about the Charlotte Flair thing. What did we determine? You thought it was a shoot? Or was that a great work?
So here's
what
the
did
thing.
Bubba say? What did Busted Open? Let's plug Busted Open.
So,
and I love Bubba.
Bully Ray.
Bully Ray now. Bully Ray.
I think he saw both sides of it, because he was saying, I don't even remember, but in my opinion, if it was like scripted, they are the best actresses I've ever seen, because to me, it really looked like it was a shoot. So
yeah, it could just been frustration.
Yeah. I think something had happened earlier where Nia was unsafe with something. I don't know. I wasn't there. Like you said.
Well, there was a slap to the face. There was also she slapped her. But it was a Samoan drop that was kind of rough. But if you would have been in the school last Tuesday, I did a match with Metal, and everybody was convinced I killed him. But I was just agitated. But it looked like I mauled him, because he went to give me I moved. He went to go give an elbow, and I moved, but then he jumped back up and was in my face. So then I just unloaded on him like any person would, like when you're in your face and not selling anything and making it impossible work. But that's how I was teaching him. But everybody in the school was convinced that I was beating the heck out of him, but I wasn't. I just emotionally shifted gears out here, but nothing changed physically as in how it landed. It just looked like it was landing a little bit more with more aggression and intent to do bodily harm.
I'm just thinking no-sell, then it's just, I don't know, but what do I know? What do I know? I know nothing.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I'll wait for more reports and all the gossip sites.
Fair enough. Yeah. If you guys, when you're watching, if you guys have any opinions on anything we talk about, you can leave them in the comments, write to us.
And thank you for all those great comments. There's so many comments on our YouTube stuff and everything.
Can we get more comments about how sexy we are, guys? Those are my favorite kind of comments. Just, we need more compliments.
We're sexy and you know it.
Oh, I have to say, I loved the video that you guys put together where you were doing your entrance and Raymond put the music behind it. Oh, that was so good. That was very clever. But we ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This is from my friend, Curve So Solo.
Do you like Curve So? You always. I know there's hundreds of questions. You always about Curve So-Sos. I mean, nothing against Curve Solo or So-So. So. He never explained it either, what the Curve Solo. Yeah. But, all right, Raymond. I'm thinking you have personal favorites, but go ahead.
Well, if they're good
you're the one putting these
questions
in the box. And it's not her and it's not me, definitely.
It ain't me.
Nope.
How important was kayfabe back in the day, and do you think the lack of kayfabe in today's wrestling hurt the legitimacy of the business?
Legitimacy on how you look at the business, yes. If you're an older school person or a wrestler from the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and you're still alive, you're probably a bit agitated with it. You're probably a bit annoyed with it that nobody protects it. Smoke and mirrors, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see type of things. That goes with the work itself. It's all smoke and mirrors. WWF, WWE at the time when they made it sports entertainment to get out of paying whatever state commissions or whatever that deal was back then, kind of put it out there that it was entertainment. Throughout the years with the movies and industry and all coming on as they do things, kind of put it out there. Do I think it hurt it? I think it. Does it hurt it now? No. Do I think there should be more of it? Yes. I think it wouldn't hurt to apply it more, and people should be surprised with watching wrestling. I would like to be surprised. I don't want to read about it first and then watch it. I would like to have like when the Undertaker lost and that kid was or emotions, like even though they knew CM Punk was coming out, but then it was the kid crying. Like, I like those natural, organic reactions, and you can't get those if you're online reading about it. Everybody is out there leaking it and telling it and stuff like that. So I think it would help. People want to watch the product more if they didn't know what was going to happen, because it would leave them hanging. Like like soap operas and stuff. They don't like soap operas, whatever shows. They don't. You sign things to not say what's going to happen in the next season, even though it's filmed, and then because people want to tune back in next week and they want that. They need some suspense and surprise in their life. You know what I mean? If you know everything, it's like, So back in the day, though, it was very serious and very good for us. And like Eddie Graham, he would he would encourage his heel champions, the bad guy, the heel champions. He would encourage them to like get in bar fights and stuff. But if they lost the bar fight, he would pull the belt right off them because they lost the legitimacy as a tough guy wrestler. But if they were in a bar fight and they won it, they made wrestling look good. Like, oh, it's a bad son of a SOB in there, right? So, and then they protected it. They went as far as not letting ask you not to have your wives or girlfriends come to the show, right? So because they wanted the more people that believed you were single or whatever. That was more tickets they bought or merch that was sold or whatever, stuff like that. Plus, I mean, it was just. You were a villain and you were a blue eye, you're a baby face and you're a heel, like good versus evil. And that's what drew. That's what made money. People want to believe in something, watch it, and they want to be left hanging to come back to see what's going to happen. They want to see that baby face chase that title, or they want to see that heel lose that title, so that's what they're paying every week to come. But if they know, oh, well, it's planned and Roman Reigns is off to go do, Back to the Furious 30, and
Back to the Furious,
Fast and Furious, or
that's
whatever.
A new
Back to the Future, but Fast and Furious 30, Back to the Furious. Well, there's so many Fast and Furiouses, right? But,
yep.
And then they recycle everybody. But you know what I mean? If you know he's leaving, and it just takes the mystery and the suspense out. You're like, oh, yeah, I like the element of surprise. For this era, I would still like to have surprise. Back then, it was their livelihoods. They had to believe that you were like, for example. I was at Disney World as a kid, and I saw Ron Bass there, and I told my mom, I said, "Oh, Outlaw Ron Bass is over there." Like, she goes, "Go say hello." I go, "Oh, hell no!" Like, it's Outlaw Ron Bass. He'll beat me up. Like, so they had that, but I enjoyed that. I like that adrenaline and that fear and that respect of nature or whatever, however you want to look at it, of believing that Ron Bass was just this big badass cowboy wrestler and I wasn't going to go up there. Like, I enjoyed that feeling. And I think that wrestling thrived on protecting that and being this society, this group of themselves, and going along. And I think it was very important. And and very good for wrestling back then. And some people crap on it, go the old brother generation, this and this and that. But it is what it was. You got into it, it was. Now it's a whole different entity now. I mean, you're still objective in wrestling matches to win the wrestling match. People believe that you want to win. That's what you're still selling, the object of winning the match. But it's so entertainment now. It's crazy. So, but I think it could use a little bit more kayfabe in its life.
Okay. You reminded me of something because you mentioned Disney, which got me thinking of Orlando, which got me thinking of Universal. And it looks like AEW now is finding a permanent home at Universal to film AEW Dark.
Oh, the Dark?
Right? Is that
Rampage?
Dark.
It's Dark. Yeah. So what do you think about them? It's almost like, what they did with Impact.
Yeah, bro. Impact, WCW, they all been through there, right? So, no, it's good. I mean, hey, I'm a Florida guy. More business in Florida is great. More jobs for somebody I might be related to or somebody I know. I'm all good for more businesses in Florida and more wrestling in Florida. Although Florida's oversaturated with wrestlers, but I don't ever wrestle in Florida. But it also helps generate the school and people wanting to wrestle because it's a Florida thing. So I'm for it. I'm happy for it. I'm glad to see any wrestling, whether it's MLW, Ring of Honor, whatever company, New Japan, the more wrestling, the better. It's more opportunities for somebody I know or somebody that I help train and gives them a chance to live their dream and do something they love. So I'm down for it.
Heck yeah.
Amen. Bring it on.
Amen. Hallelujah. All right. Ready for the next one?
Okay.
This is from Cruz Oviedo. And they want to know, how was the women's division treated back in the Attitude Era?
Well, that's a tricky question. That's a slippery slope. Attitude Era. So you had some great wrestlers there. Well, I consider Luna great at what she did as a wrestler and a ballet manager. Then you had Ivory, who was tremendous, and I think Molly Holly went to WC. They tried to get Luna was trying to get her, but she ended up going and being Miss Madness because they didn't want her. They thought she was too plain, which was a shame. How was it treated? It was okay when it was like the beginnings, like Raw, before it was like that Raw in the Manhattan, when Medusa, Luna, Sherry Martel. I think it was treated well, and I enjoyed it. They weren't on top by no means, or maybe gave the respect that they deserved. They probably wasn't given that platform that they deserved, but they were there, and it came a long ways from where they were, right? But that doesn't make it right. But they were there. But then when it got elevated, I think cheapened it, because when it got elevated, it became the Sables and the TNA and nothing against Terry Rumble, who's going to pop their tits out the most. Like, that was discouraging. Yeah, Miss Kitty was naked every oil wrestling and mud wrestling show, and nothing against her. I mean, I get along great with her. I just thought it really, everything they worked for to get to where they were and going into the Attitude Era, they kind of stripped away with TNA, tits and ass, not the company, not Total Nonstop Action, but they stripped it away with that, and it put a black cloud on it, which I know for a fact, like, really bothered Luna a lot. Just because she was a second generation, she was so proud to be a professional wrestler. She came from that kayfabe that we talked about earlier, that generation of protecting wrestling at all costs. I mean, we'd been in a Denny's, and she's super nice to the fans, even as a heel. They come up eating, and, oh, can I get your autograph? She goes, sure. Yeah, growling in that Luna voice. And then right at the end of it, it's just like when you, right at the end of it, you're like, okay, this is a good encounter. This is a good encounter. Then the guy goes, it's all fake anyways. I'll show you fake, you sorry son of a bitch, coming over here and interrupting. And she's trying to claw across the table to like rip their eye out. Like, legit. I've seen that more than like 5 times in my life. It's like you go, oh, this is a good encounter. Oh, why did they go there? Because she's gonna protect it with that kayfabe. So that's her mentality going into there. And then she had mad respect for Sherry Martel, and Medusa's a tough cookie. Medusa was in All Japan Women's in like the mid 80s, where they were like assassins. They were this badass women, and she survived that, and she was there. And so, by all means, she was a pioneer too. To come in there and then to work up to get women's wrestling respected, and to start moving to that platform where they're moving up. Then come, let's see who could pop the most hits out. Let's just put the belts on. Then became later after the Attitude Era, that other era with the diva titles. It's just, I just think it hurt it a little bit. Like, as a professional wrestler, I mean, as entertainment, it's whatever you want for entertainment. It's not my choice of entertainment. No, I don't mean any disrespect to the young ladies that went that route, but I like the Molly Hollies, the Debbie Malenkos, the Luna Vachons, the Medusas, Larger Blaze, or whatever you know her as, the Sherry Martels, the Leilani Kai, Judy Martin, the Jumping Bomb Angels. Like, I can go on and on. I love women's wrestling when it's proper women's wrestling. I just think if you work so hard to be a professional wrestler, don't bring it down with flopping your ass out and your tits. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion.
Okay. Well, what about like the era when like Lita, joined, and Trish Stratus? I mean,
well, Trish Stratus, I know, would write Edge all the time trying to get in. She wasn't trained. She goes, "Oh, I want to be a part of the Brood thing." Just like, she was super thing, and she did it. She got in. Lita, I know for a fact that Lita paid tribute to Luna when, like, I don't know if you ever, when they did something, Lita had a Luna thing on, because Luna was like, and Lita's a Deerfield Beach girl. She's from South Florida. What's up, So Flo? Luna would always try to get me to carry all Lita's stuff up there to show the office. They need to hire this girl. Luna wasn't there anymore. She was like pro Lita, like super pro Lita. So, and then Lita paid the price, broken neck, this and that. With the flying stuff, trying to push it into that next level where they were flying and this and that. That'd be different than somebody just popping their breast out. You know what I mean? So you had to. They were like earning their way up as wrestlers here, like wrestling and putting on good matches. Then came all these tits coming out, this and that. So now you had to top it with all these bigger and flashier moves and take it to a different level to get that respect, which put a price on their bodies and stuff like that. So I was sad in that sense. But Lita's a great human being. I love that kid.
I'm a fan too.
Kid. I keep thinking I would call people kids. Guess I'm getting old now. Kid.
No. You old whippersnappers. Is that what they're calling? I don't know.
Yeah, you little troublemakers.
How are we doing on time? Do we need to break, or are we still good to keep rolling? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yes, I'm ready for the
Here we go. Is this one also from Curve? No, it's not.
I got this energy drink over here.
Yeah, go ahead. Chug, chug, chug. It's a pumpkin spice energy. No, it's not. This one is also from Matt Krause. I don't know if that was the last one too. Maybe not. Okay.
Allison Krause.
Okay. So they want to know if you have any stories traveling through the Canadian Maritimes. And they also wanted to say thank you for your contributions to the wrestling business and entertaining us.
Canadian Maritimes. I got a lot of stories traveling through Canada, but so you're asking specifically about the Maritimes.
What are the Maritimes exactly?
It's Northeast Canada, like up there where like no human being lives, but it's beautiful in the summer. It's beautiful in the summer, some of the spring, but winter I could pass on it. Like, the winters are brutal, but I have done some tours up there with. But I was in a bad place when I did those tours. I don't want to say the things I did. I do work up there. I've done tours, but I've done one-off shows too in the Maritimes and Prince Edward, PEI, Prince Edward Island and stuff like that. There's a lot of great talent up there, like Big Brody Steele, and then like, so you get the Maritimes, and then below that you'll have like Quebec and Montreal. So they all kind of tie in and run those maritime tours. It's a beautiful country. I think I did a 20-day tour up there where we wrestled in all the little towns. They were all sold out. But it was such a blur to me because I drank every night and went home with somebody different every night. It was a rough run. I was going through the breakup with Luna, so I was like trying to find myself or destroy myself or both at the same time, whichever one won out. So I found myself eventually. But the Maritimes are tremendous. The fans are tremendous, but it is very isolated out there, and it's a very beautiful place. So I would recommend anybody, if you can do a tour of that and you're young, do it. I don't know if it's for an older person, it's a little grizzled up, but but it was great. It's a good tour. I've been all the way up to in Nova Scotia, up like the Nova Scotia's up there where you can see the Northern Lights and stuff, and kiss the fish and all that kind of stuff. It's a gimmick where they kiss the fish up there and then you become a local. Yeah, like
just any fish.
No, they have a certain fish.
Okay.
It's a thing. You'll get a certificate and everything, too.
I
have to look it up and explain it to you. Yeah, we'll have to come back to that subject. But
okay.
Maritimes, I had great tours. I did I think I beat somebody up in the Maritimes, but they asked for it. I think it was the promoter maybe. But like, I can tell you this though. I learned the hard way about cell phones in the Maritimes.
Okay.
So I kept calling somebody like to talk to him, right? And like I was kind of smitten on him, even though I was doing all these bad things. I was smitten on this person. So like I was going through the breakup and all that. So I was calling this person, made me feel good. Like I think somebody actually cared. Even though I didn't care about myself, but it made me feel good that somebody cared. So I called every night, and then because like I didn't know much about cell phones then. So then I didn't realize that like all those calls were like long distance because it was my cell from the States to another number in the States, but I was in the Maritimes, and then they turned my phone off on the trip, and I had to get through to them, and I was calling, and I had like a $900 phone bill. Like, I said, what are you talking about? This is a state to state. Like, I mean, yeah, I was in a bad place in a bad time, but yeah, I learned the hard way. You got to get a. What is that plan when you go to another country?
Yeah, like a long distance plan. But now we have WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So
now you got WhatsApp. You got all these incredible things. Even Facebook you can call on now. So as long as you got internet or Wi-Fi somewhere, you'll be all right. So I don't know. That wasn't much for some maritime stories. It was all over the place.
Kiss the fish.
Kiss the fish.
Kiss the fish. We're gonna come back to that because I do.
That was in Newfoundland, actually. That was in Newfoundland. Newfoundland, yeah, all the way up Newfoundland where you kiss the fish. Newfoundland. Newfoundland or Newfoundland. I don't know. They say it.
No, it's Newfoundland. I think you're right, but I'm gonna research that.
There's people particular up there about it. So.
Oh, same with like how you say Glasgow.
Glasgow. How do you say Glasgow or Glasgow?
Because like I remember
we get a lot of people from Glasgow watching.
So please help us because I remember I was announcing Nikki Cross at Shine. I believe I believe that's who it was. And I think she's from Glasgow. And, like, so I said Glasgow. And they're like, ah! And I was like, Glasgow. I don't know. So.
You muppet. It is Glasgow.
Glasgow. I'm going to work on it. But let us know in the comments.
All right, Scotland then. What was like, they got that right? Scotland? Scotland.
All right, well.
It's a beautiful place, Scotland.
I would love to go.
Yeah, it's cold there, too, though. But beautiful.
I would love to go. I want to see the Highlands.
Yeah. It's much Braveheart.
I will. Scotland is free. All right. This one's from Tony Clark. Thank you for a very pronounceable name. Tony Clark. Okay. They wanted to say, they said, hey, Gangrel, how do you feel about WCW's Vampiro?
Raymond, did you put that crap in there again?
We get that question like so much.
How do I feel about him? I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I used to know. I used to think I knew. I used to think like, I was going to kick, if I ever seen him, it wasn't going to be a good ending. There was one trip where he talked a lot of crap to a friend of mine named Norman Smiley about me. And I remember Norman would be like, oh, you don't want to mess with Dave. Don't go that route. And then, so I was prepared to get off a plane in Japan. We were on the same tour. I was going to just dust him. And then he was like, oh, he carried our bags and stuff. And he was like super nice. But then at the end of the tour, all Luna's meds disappeared. And he was the only one that was zombied up. Like, because her meds are not like meds for a normal person. They're meds for a psych. like she takes some shit, they'll put an elephant down, like to keep that balance. What was it called? Elavil. It's Elavil 50s and stuff. Oh, big orange death, I'd call it. Because I took one time just to see what's up, and I lost 3 days. I didn't know what was going on. But she took that every day and was fine. I was like, yeah. So, I didn't have a high opinion. I don't know. As things go on, and this has changed in probably the last 3 months, really. I started thinking, oh, who am I to be upset? Because he used to go around telling people I stole his character. I mean, he would openly say that stuff, and I go, I didn't even know who this guy was. Like, he was in Mexico. I was in Puerto Rico. Like, I didn't know who he was when I was in Puerto Rico wrestling. They have Lucha magazines over there because it's Spanish, right? Lucha Libre. It was a magazine, and I go, oh, what's the guy doing? They're calling him Vampiro. He's not a vampire, but I'm doing a vampire character with fangs and stuff, so I go, oh, it's kind of different, but whatever. But it turns out the fans were calling him Vampiro. He did, but then he just wrote that. But he would tell people that I was a copy. But he would say all kinds of crap like that through his years. But as you grow older, and I don't know if I grew wiser or not, but as you sit back and you go, it's not that big a deal. Like, what do I care what somebody has to say, this or that? He's actually reached out to me to do some stuff and stuff like that, and I got to follow up on it, but he did something kind of shady to a friend of mine named Sin Bodhi, and Sin, Nicholas Sin. He's not a bad guy at all. I've never seen Sin upset with anybody at all. Sin was literally like fighting mad, like with this guy, because I guess Vampiro called him and said, hey, I'm in Vegas now. Can I come do your freak shows, and stuff. He does these things called freak show. So he goes on there and then he does the show and everything and whatever's fine. And then he tells him like, hey, I got a business partner. We're going to be doing a freak show. You want to be a part of it? Whatever. Basically told Sin, I'm taking your show and we're doing it in Vegas, And he's like, you can't do that. Sin literally had to get a lawyer and stop this. And like, it just, that he went that route. And then I guess apparently tried to apologize to him later. Oh, it wasn't me. It was the other guy. But it's just kind of who he is. It's just kind of, anybody that knows him just knows there's always some kind of like heat around him or something. But then you hear he has all these health issues now and different things. So, so I don't like to talk bad about anybody. Like, I was always taught, if you don't have anything good to say, don't really say anything at all. So, like, I really didn't say anything, but I don't have anything bad to say about him now. I think I'm over anything as I get older. And maybe I should have thought about working with him. But Sin's a friend of mine, and I'm pretty loyal to my friends. I'm like, I'll be super loyal to my friends. Like, so if he's done somebody wrong that I consider like a friend, and Sin's on that hand, he's in the 5 fingers. Sin's in my 5 fingers. There's Sin and Edge are in there. And I got a little TMD in there. I got Anna in there. And there's one open. Okay. I don't know who's in there. Raymond might be. Yeah, I don't know. He's Raymond trying to bring coffee and get that spot. Yeah.
Damn, you up, Raymond?
But no, but yeah, I'm very collective of like who I call like a friend. You know, I use the term loosely a lot of times, but if I say like, yo, you're in that circle, like, people trust, that hand of trust. Simbodi's on that hand of trust. So if Simbodi had an issue with him, then it's hard for me to overlook that and maybe do something together. Even though I'm a business person, and business opportunities. But if I have negative feelings already deep down inside about some stuff in the past, more than likely they would just harvest and come to the top and it would end badly, right? So I just kind of avoid those situations. But no, I was happy. The thing people don't realize is I believe, I could be wrong, so don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. But never mind. I could be wrong. Boys in the hood are always hard. You keep talking that trash stuff. Never mind. All right.
That's,
so, yeah. Boys in the hood. So, as I came on, it's Gangrel on WWE, I didn't think they were trying to bring Vampiro in to tag with me. To do the thing. It wasn't Edge and all that originally. I think like they were going to bring, because I was feuding Edge, but they were going to bring Vampiro in, but then we ended up with Christian. But I think because Vampiro, I could be wrong, held up WC, like saying, hey, they want to bring me in and do this. So when they were divorced, he just went and used that, told them they were going to come to cut a better deal, get more money out of WCW. That's how that's happened. So, I mean, that might be a little inside information. I could be wrong, but that's how I understood it back then from The Office.
The higher ups
and stuff like that. So I don't know. So there's been a lot of controversy and a whirlwind of something around him. But personally, I wish the best for him on his journey and his health. And I really, I wish him well on his health and hopes he gets through whatever's going on and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right.
There we got it. We got the Vampiro answer. All right. We got one more.
It was all over the place.
Yeah, it's okay. We also got Boys in the Hood. All right.
Boys in the Hood. I love that. Like, that's a great movie too, Boys in the Hood. Cuba Gooding. Oh, Lawrence Fishburne.
I need to revisit. I haven't watched it since.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one. Every time I go, I'm not going to watch Boys in the Hood when it comes through because I see it, I flick it through, and then I stop because Lawrence Fishburne always draws me in. Lawrence.
Yeah. Are you excited for the next Matrix film?
There's another Matrix coming. When do I get clued in first?
You told me to tell you these things, and here I am telling you now.
There's another Matrix. Is Keanu Reeves going to be?
Yes.
See, I am a Keanu guy. A lot of people don't like him, but
Who wins in a fight between Neo and John Wick?
Neo, I think. Because he can do all that crazy, he never gets shot. He'll never, get shot.
But,
and then he'll pull the plug and go somewhere else, go up. But,
yeah, okay.
John Wick's just badass on Earth.
He's so badass.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, one of my favorite films.
I tried to get Anna to watch it. And she goes, I love the first one, but she didn't get through the second one yet.
But
I go, the third one, there is more killing in the first 5 minutes of the third one there is in all two of the first two.
So good. Raymond, have you seen him? Okay, he's seen him.
Of course, Raymond. He's violent. He's got violent nature over there.
Just have to make sure. We have to double check.
I know 7 it's too much for him to
a little too much
comprehend all the storyline and the dialect of the sins, the 7 deadly sins and stuff like.
Still watch it.
He doesn't have enough time for it.
He's a busy man.
He's not a Brad Pitt guy.
You're not a Brad Pitt guy?
No. Ever since Thelma and Louise, he's never liked him when Brad Pitt stole their money.
That would be the first movie.
Ever did, yeah.
Okay. Well, here is our final question. Are you ready for it?
Legends of the Fall. You did.
Oh, Legends of the Fall. Oh, I had to watch that for my film school. Okay. So this is from A. Carl. And they want to know.
Now I want Carl's Jr. burgers.
Oh, Carl's or Hardee's? Because aren't they both the same?
They're the same. Right? They just like change the name, but the same colors. And
same with like Checkers.
Depending upon the state you're in, yeah, Checkers.
And what's the other
Checkers
one?
and Raleigh's.
Oh, man. Okay. So we kind of already touched on this, but maybe there's something else you can mention because they want to know if you could share some of your road stories with Rikishi and other Samoans.
Like road stories. There's tons and tons of oh my goodness. There's tons of stories. I could tell you that I've never seen mayonnaise. They were off mayonnaise for a while, but I noticed this weekend they're back on the mayonnaise again. They're putting mayonnaise on. They had tuna fish with mayonnaise, but then they put squeezed mayonnaise on it. But I never knew that there were so many uses for mayonnaise in my life. So I literally started putting mayonnaise on my rice, my white rice.
Really?
I would put mayonnaise on my white rice. I put mayonnaise on my scrambled eggs.
What?
I put mayonnaise on everything. But what mayonnaise did for me is put weight on my ass and everything. I went up to 305 pounds on mayonnaise, like hanging out with him in LA. Well, I mean, I was drinking too. Drinking had something to do with it. Like I was drinking, but like I'm like 245, 250 now. But yeah, I was 305 pounds in LA, and I blame it mostly on the mayonnaise and bad lifestyle. But it was mostly that mayonnaise. They put, I mean, there's turkey tail, everything. But Samoans, the culture, you travel with them. Once you're in with them, your family, whatever it is, your family, you're considered family. You attend funerals, weddings, everything together. So very cultural driven, very family driven, very loyal. But if you break that circle of trust, you are alienated, and there's like a death squadron sent for you. You know how many Samoans there are. I could tell you this. So all right, here's the one, but I don't want to go into a lot of detail because I don't want anybody to go to prison. So we were in Australia, and we did a show. It was coming to the end of the loop, right? And we hadn't got paid. If you know Samoans and the coupe, their money. Samoans gonna get their money. That's if I learned anything when I was at office school and then ended up running office school, it's business. The Samoans gonna get their money. You owe them money. They're going to get their money. So it's the end of the trip, and we were supposed to fly home. I'm not sure if they changed their flight to a later flight or no, whatever. But what I learned is Samoans have family on every planet, continent, state. It doesn't matter where you are. There is a herd of Samoans somewhere just waiting on go. Like, they hit that bat phone, Samoan, go. Like, and they sent out a crew. Like, I don't know what they did. I do know what they did, but I don't want to say it out loud. Like, there was some holes put in a house somewhere. But by that afternoon, every last one of us got paid. And we're on that evening flight out of there. Like, so it's crazy, man. They are so gangster. It's insane. So like, if you're in their circle of trust, don't breach it. Because if you're out of it, I can't guarantee what'll happen to you, man. But I love, I OG'd in with Alpha. And then I traveled a lot with Samu and Junior Kishi. And then I was like best friends for the longest time with Reno and Hawaii, Counter California, Black Pearl. Like, and that's me and Reno actually opened the school, Knox Pro, together. And Kishi was like a silent backer, and then he came in like a few years later and came in as a trainer there. And now he's the head trainer. Him and Reno, they run it together out there, doing very successful. So, I came home, get back in touch with my grandkids and my roots here and stuff like that. But yeah, that's Samoan culture. Like, I don't know, that's a little story, but there's so many. If you sit down, I have a glass of wine or beer, I could tell you about 50. We'll have to do a nighttime episode one day, and then I can tell you stories.
We'll get our wine, we'll get our mayonnaise.
Yeah.
We'll
some spam musubi. Get some spam musubi. They love spam. Spam, corned beef. Oh, they love it. They'll actually put in special orders for corned beef out of like San Francisco and Union City area to bring it down. Or actually, the Tenderloin in San Francisco is where you get some great corned beef. Yeah, they like their food. They love their food. But whatever you do, if you can avoid a Samoan funeral, avoid it, because their funerals are like 4 hours, 5 hours long. Everybody speaks. They have food after. They always have food after on everything. Everything, good or bad tragedies. There's always food involved. Turkey tail, chop suey with the chicken. I like the chicken chop suey. They have a pork chop suey. Oh, it's so good. Nah.
I feel like Rikishi would be a cool person to have on here too. You gotta reach out to him.
He would, and it probably would. What are you hinting? I gotta get to work. Is Raymond like telling you to tell me to get guests on here? Because I could feel the heat from him because he sends these like subliminal messages all the time, and then I just don't answer him, so he gets the message back.
Message received. Message received.
No, it's not that. I just don't like to ask people to do things. I'll do stuff for people, but I just hate asking. It's how I've always been. I've always just sit back and take in whatever was given instead of asking or going out and getting it. Like, I don't like to make waves. I feel like I want to bother people. I know that I'm not a big fan of doing podcasts and stuff. Not because I'm used to talking now and everything. I just don't know when to market this time, like manage this time. Like, it took a lot for me to commit to this. Like, Raymond will tell you, I kept saying, no, I don't want to do this. And I've turned down, like, a title match. They wanted me to do one with Blake Chadwick. They wanted me to do one, but I just was scared of the commitment. Like somebody saying, "Hey, we're paying you to do this, so you got to do it." You know. Yeah. So like I'm realizing with CCW, I've taken a heck of commitment because they're paying me to run that school and everything, which is great, and they're great people. Nelio and Danny. I know Danny. I helped train Danny. I was wrestling for Rusty. I was already trained when Danny came along, and they've been 17 years. I think CCW's been around, and now Nelio spot into it. So, and he's a tremendous human being. He's a little younger, maybe in his mid 30s, but he's still wrestling. But the commitment, like to you accept money to do a job, even if I just verbally, no, I'm doing it out of love. At least if I'm having a bad day body wise, or I want to go to something, I'll go. But when somebody's paying me, like, I will show up to the ends of the earth because I know I'm being paid. Any job, I've had very few regular jobs in my life, but I would show up an hour early and stay an hour late and give you, like, if it was 8 hours, I gave you 10 hours of busted ass. It's just how I am. And so to commit to stuff like this and to do podcast, I hate asking people because I know how hard it is to manage time. For me, I'm so busy, like, and I have nothing going on, but I'm so busy. It's hard to explain. You're
very busy. you got a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, 2022. There's a lot of surprises out there. I don't want to mention something. I don't want to jinx them, but we talked earlier, so hopefully we can reveal a lot of cool things on this show coming up.
You did talk well.
But hopefully, Gangrel's ghost stories. Hopefully that's been talked about. That's out there. Hopefully that'll be in play. And now I got to call Greg because I got to text him back about his pumpkin spice latte spray. Uh-huh. He goes, even if it isn't, just pretend it is. I'm like, so what, I got to go steal a Starbucks cup somewhere? Because he particularly said Starbucks, so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's
should I rib him and just get a Dunkin' Donuts and say, I got a Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice latte, dog?
Yeah, there you go. That's what you get. That's what you get. I don't know. But episode 15, we did it.
That's it? We're done? We're out of here, out of time? Damn it all. Wow, that went by fast. Must have been all the Bobby Lashley stuff there, Raymond. So, thank you, Kid Cadet. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to episode 15. So, we covered things of Bigfoot having COVID and missing. Not really, but we did mention it. Because Swatchula wanted me to bring it up because he's worried about his family members. He hasn't seen them in the news, no TMZ sightings or anything like that. So we covered that. We covered Bobby Lashley. Talked a little bit about MVP, his background, his history. The bombing disappointment of the Peter Criss cancellation, which bums me out because I secretly
you wanted the
Peter,
story.
I was So,
and Peter. Yeah, I know. I feel you. But it's okay. We talked a little bit about Charlotte and Nia Jax.
Oh yeah, which I don't know. Maybe it was. I'm not there. I see both sides, so it could be, or it could have been they attempted to get everybody talking and get a buzz around something, which they did. So people were talking, so maybe they did. So I'm sure people went on and went back in their DVRs and went back there and watched that, or if not, they've looked it up to watch it.
And now they will.
So either way, I think that was a win for Raw, as long as they are friends now, if that really did happen. So we talked about Goldberg. We talked about Goldberg, knees, Gage, his son. Talked about Rikishi a little bit, some Samoan culture, a little bit of everything.
Mayo, and donuts.
And donuts, energy drinks, and coffee. So, I don't know. And I'm sure we covered a few other things I've already forgotten in this past hour. So, everybody have a tremendous day. Want some?
Get some.
Bad enough?
Take some.
Thank you for fanging and banging with Gangrel.